Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Over the past year, cannabis has experienced exponential growth, and dispensaries having been deemed essential services and multiple new states legalizing adult use. Joining me to discuss is Nick Vita, CEO of Columbia Care. Nick, it's great to meet with you. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks very much for having me.
And Nick, how is the cannabis sector impacting the U.S. economy on the state and national levels?
Well, I think it's actually impacting in a pretty significant way and in ways that people didn't expect. It's not just about tax revenue, it's about actually creating jobs, and not just retail jobs, but manufacturing jobs. The amount of innovation, new capital, and frankly, new opportunities that are being created, not only in kind of traditional markets, but economic areas that have been hit throughout the crisis, is really substantial. And I think that that's one of the bright shining stars and opportunities the market really represents.
What markets are likely next to legalize?
Well, this year, obviously, we had big news out of New Jersey, Arizona, New York, and Virginia. I think that next year you would expect to see potentially Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, DC, maybe even Connecticut. I think that there's a little bit of a domino effect happening right now, where states are recognizing that this is a little bit like the horse that's sort of burst through the stable at this point. And now I think there's a bit of a race trying to make sure that states incorporate and create their own legal and regulatory frameworks before the federal government decides to take action on its own.
And how is Columbia Care driving industry growth across 18 markets?
Well, I think what you've seen out of Columbia Care is a really methodical and disciplined approach at creating scale within each market. Most recently, we acquired a 1 million square foot facility in New York to really support our medical footprint and to prepare us for not only sort of the state expansion, but also potentially a federal licensing expansion opportunity. All of that is part and parcel with what we've been doing in states like Florida, California, Colorado, and up and down the East Coast. And so every time we are able to participate in one of these new markets, whether it's coming from no regulatory structure to a medical, or from a conversion point, medical to adult use, it requires capital, new bodies, new innovation, and new employees.
And what's next for the company in the coming months now that the New York City bill officially passed, given that Columbia Care, you're based in the city?
That's right. So this is our front yard, and we intend to really define what New York regulated cannabis looks like. The state has taken a great sort of amount of effort to create a legislative and regulatory and legal framework that really reinforced not only operational potential, but also had a very significant component of diversity and inclusion. And so we've been a strong voice in every market to really support that political agenda. We think it's important for the industry as a whole. And we intend to not only lean into our own business, but really serve as sort of a crutch and a supporting mechanism for new entrants into the market.
All right, Nick, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.
Great, thanks so much.